Greetings, everyone, in the bonds of peace, and welcome to Ishi One. My name is Dr.Sean Lyons. I am a forever student of the vision and revelation of Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley, who had his vision in the state of Ohio in the year of 1931. Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley proved these facts on 3 ecclesiastical peace missions to every religious organization and school of the highest learning around the world from 1958 to 1976. As a result of his divine vision and revelation, he transcribed this book called Elohim, the archetype, original pattern of the universe, which was given to every school of the highest learning, every religious organization, president-elect, and queens and kings of the earth, along with a Holy Name Version Bible, transliterated by a betrayer, an Italian Jew, with the true and correct names of the Heavenly Father and his Son. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father. Elohim is his divine title. And Yahshua the Messiah is the name of his Son. Within the inscription, Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley revealed to the world the threefold pattern which Yahweh Elohim revealed to Moses up in Mount Sinai in the year of 1490 BBY, and commanded Moses to build one in the wilderness of Sinai, which established the apothecary. This was revealed to John the Revelator on the Isle of Patmos. That the pattern was Yahshua, the Messiah. The true Eloah, who Yahweh sent into the world for the remission of sins by the operation of blood, water, and spirit. In Hebrews 9 and 14 through 15, reveals that Yahshua offered himself one time through his eternal spirit unto the Father to remove sin in the flesh. Through his death, his burial, his resurrection, his ascension, and the outpouring of his Holy Spirit. This was fulfilled in AD 33 and AD 40 to this present day in the Kingdom Age. All this information can be found on page 69 through 86 of Volume 1, the Comparative Analyst or Apocryphal Confirmation of the Creation. Dr. Henry C. Kinley also revealed in the same publication, page 129, Volume 1, that Yahweh Elohim is the all in all. Yahweh said that he is the substance, the limits, and the bounds, and that's all. Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley gave us rules of engagement pertaining to his vision, that the manifestation will change, but the principle will remain the same. That being said, study to show thyself approved, a workman who need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And may the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, teach you all things. My aims and objectives are, number one, to help you find Yahshua, the Messiah, in your heart and in your mind. 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 5. 1 Corinthians 17, 6, 1 Corinthians 6, 17 through 20, and 2 Corinthians 3, 1 through 6. Number two, to show you how Yahweh wrote his laws in your inward parts. Jeremiah 31, 31, Hebrews 8, 10 through 13. Number three is to help you discern the sons of Elohim and the sons of the devil. 1 John 3rd chapter, 1 John 4, 1 through 10. And my fourth aim and objective is to show you and prove that Yahshua is the true Eloah, whom Yahweh have sent, and that's John 17 and 3. At this particular time, we will have a prayer. We will have our scripture reading, announcements, our script ascertainment and perception and direction exam. We will choose our speaker. We will end with the doxology, which will be Romans, the 16th chapter, verses 25 through 27. And our scripture reading for today will be 1 Kings, the 17th chapter. The prayer will be given by myself, Dr.Sean Lyons, this evening. Heavenly Father, at this time, I would like to thank you for the gifts that you have poured out upon man. My prayer is to let your light shine in every man, Father. And I ask, Father, that every talent that you give to man, that he use to his best ability for your glory. I ask this prayer, Father, because it is a personal prayer of my own, Father, that I give back what you have given to me. Freely as I receive, freely I would like to give. And I pray, Father, that is for your glory, that someone may get an understanding, and so that the world may not think that it is about me, Father. These humble prayers that I ask in the name of your only begotten Son, of Yahshua the Messiah, Father. And I do humbly ask that you be the speaker and not me, Father. That I'm just merely a vessel, that I ask, Father, for you to use for your glory. I humbly ask this in the name of Yahshua the Messiah, my Savior, my King, my all in all. Hallelujah. At this particular time, we will be having our scripture lesson. I will be reading 1 Kings, the 17th chapter, out of the Holy Name Version Bible, critically compared with ancient authorities, various manuscripts, revised by the late A.B. Trainer. And Elisha, the Tishabite, who was of the inhabitants of Galilee, said unto Ahab, as Yahweh Elohim of Israel liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew, nor rain these years, but according to my word. And the word of Yahweh came unto him, saying, Get thee hence, and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the brook of Cherith, that is before Jordan. And it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook. And I have commanded the Arabs to feed thee there. So he went and did according unto the word of Yahweh. for he went and dwelt by the brook of Cherith, that is before Jordan. And the Arabs brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening. And he drank of the brook. And it came to pass after a while that the brook dried up, because there had been no rain in the land. And the word of Yahweh came unto him, saying, Arise, get thee to Zarephath, and which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. And he arose and went to Zarephath. And when he came to the gate of the city, behold, the woman whom was there gathering of sticks. And he called to her and said, Fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel, that I may drink. And as she was going to fetch it, he called to her and said, Bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thy hand. And she said, As Yahweh, thy Elohim liveth, I have not a cake, but a handful of meal in a barrel, and a little oil in a cruse. And behold, I am gathering 2 sticks, that I may go in and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die. And Elijah said unto her, Fear not, go and do as thou hast said, but make me therefore a little cake first, and bring it unto me, and after make for thee and for thy son. For thus saith Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel, thy barrel of meal shall not waste, neither the cruse of oil fail, until the day that Yahweh sendeth rain upon the earth. And she went and did according to the saying of Elijah. And she and he and her house did eat many days. And the barrel of meal waste not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the word of Yahweh, which he spoke by Elijah. And it came to pass after these things, that the son of the woman, the mistress of the house, fell sick, and his sickness was so sore that there was no breath left in him. And she said unto Elijah, What have I to do with thee, O thou man of Elohim? Art thou come unto me to call my sins to remembrance, and to slay my son? And he said unto her, Give me thy son. And he took him out of her bosom, and carried him up into a loft, where he abode and laid him upon his own bed. And he cried unto Yahweh, and said, O Yahweh, my Elohim, hast thou also brought evil upon the widow with whom I sojourn, by slaying her son? And he stretched himself upon the child 3 times, and cried unto Yahweh, and said, O Yahweh, my Elohim, I pray thee, let this child's soul come into him again. And Yahweh heard the voice of Elijah, and the soul of the child came into him again, and he revived. And Elijah took the child and brought him down out of the chamber into the house, and delivered him unto his mother. And Elijah said, See, thy son liveth. And the woman said to Elijah, Now by this I know that thou art a man of Elohim, and that the word of Yahweh is in thy mouth is true. I have read to you 1 Kings, the 17th chapter. At this particular time, we'll be going into our script ascertainment and direction exam. At this particular time, if you do not have your archetype, please take the time to do so and get it. Now, what we have been doing is that we have been going over our perception and direction exam. The reason for these examinations is to show forth how that the authenticity of this divine vision and revelation that was given to our founder in the year 1931 can be understood very clearly. Our founder had left us instructions and ways on how to go into the vision so that we can extract the true essence of what this divine vision and revelation is saying. It is by way which allow of an individual who have no knowledge of the Creator, how he truly is and actually exists. This is a preparation and a way for an individual to come unto the knowledge of the truth based on the prophecies that was written in the book called the Bible. If you have been following the lectures, then you can see how that we have been going over plate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We shared with you how this is the origin of all things, and by this is which all things exist. This is the supernal nature of Yahweh Elohim. Here in plate number 2, which is the theosophy, is the feminine part of Yahweh Elohim. As everything manifests from this existence and this state of existence, it is showing forth a marriage of the man and the woman. We understand that by the white on the outside of the red portion of the hearts. We understand that Yahweh Elohim is a consuming fire. If he was to be pierced in the side, just how Yahshua Messiah was pierced in the side, and blood and water came out, this would be a representation of that. But since there is no blood in the spirit, it has to be a representation of fire. So here, the red hearts is representation as fire, as the feminine, and the white around the red heart is manifesting the masculine. This is showing forth the unity of the sexes and a man being cleaving unto his wife and becoming one flesh. When we get here, we understand that a marriage must be sealed by gold. We have 2 archangels that are sealed within the gold heart of eternity, which is manifesting the man and the woman, cleaving together, being naked and not ashamed. And therefore, this is the reason being that we have this heart manifesting here in the most holy place, because it is showing forth that offspring has manifested from the union of spirit. This is the reason being that we have spirit written there to show forth from the marriage of the man and the woman that the offspring is the spirit, which we understand within the scriptures in Genesis chapter 1, 1 through 2, how the spirit of Elohim moved upon the face of the deep. Right here, we go through a portion to show forth how, from one state of existence, that everything must come into existence. By these things is showing forth how that spirit is everything which we understand to be. And what I mean by that is matter is spirit materialized. This is the reason why that you see all of these hearts lining up at the top part of the chart. As we went through the days of creation, we showed and shared with you how that from plate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I do apologize, that we showed you how plates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I said by these fundamental principles, you can take these principles and extract them just how you would take a synonym to understand what the true meaning of the word is. So all these pictures, which are in hieroglyphic form from 1 to 12, will basically repetitiously repeat themselves throughout the purpose, pattern, and plan of Yahweh Elohim. Now, if you take from 1 all the way down, and you come here to plate number 15, what this is an explanation of what took place in Yahweh's timetable within this first creative age. This is the explanation of how you see the beginning here. We already went over the fundamental principles and shared with you what happened in the beginning. And what we will be doing is that by this pamphlet or this booklet, which is the scientific introduction to the pattern, divine pattern of the Mosaic Tabernacle, is one of the books that we use in our school system. It is one of the smallest books in the school system, but one of the greatest books in our school system because of the content that is within. Within this particular book, as I shared before, it shows forth the threefold intangible tabernacle that was given to Moses, based upon what I showed you about how he established the apothecary in the wilderness of Sinai. Around this particular tabernacle, we have ologies, 30 ologies. And what these ologies are for is to share with you, to give you the understanding based upon the things that you have seen and the things that we have spoken about on how the creation came into existence through what we understand to be the first age, which is the creative age. Now, from the creative age, I showed you how that from the angelic, that it took on a physical manifestation. And then right here, you have a line which shows you how it says the Garden of Eden and tells you the things which consist. This is what I showed you all the way from plate number 1 up unto plate number 15. This is the reason why that you see this line that is manifesting right here, because this is everything that had manifested from the angelic all the way to the physical. And what we're going to do is, now, we have given you an explanation based upon the reason why everything from the angelic had manifested within the physical plane. Now we will take everything and all the principles that manifested within the creative age and show you how that they will manifest in the Ante-Diluvian age. What you are looking at right here, when you are looking at the angelic transgression, which is manifesting right here, and then you are seeing the Adamic transgression. This is showing forth how you have the angelic creation, which is manifesting right here, and the physical manifestation of the creation manifesting right here, and both of them, see, are synonymous, because here you have the spiritual, or the reality of what manifested in the physical realm. This is what you're seeing, or this is the synonym of what took place in the spirit. And what we're going to do is that we're going to use the theologies that are surrounded around this tabernacle to give you an explanation so that you will be able to understand the things which consist of what I meant by matter being spirit materialized. So what we're going to do is show you how, when we take this exam, we're going to show you how that it will apply throughout Yahweh Elohim's purpose. So what we will be doing is taking plate number, the creative age, okay? And what we will be doing is taking this plate and putting it here in the second age and showing you how the angelic and physical is manifesting itself in this age and dispensation which would be the second age, and the first and second dispensation, because of the things which consist and manifested from the creation up until the man came up out of the land, not the land, up out of the Garden of Eden. So this is why you have this line here and this here. And this is showing you everything from day one that manifests all the way in the angelic up into the physical until we get to plate 15. This is why you see here, when you get to plate number 16, you see how it ends right here, and it is showing you how the creation to the flood. Because from this particular period of time, it is showing forth how this is the beginning of the Ante-Diluvian Age. And therefore, we are showing you how this is the end of the Ante-Diluvian Age, which manifested by the flood. Now we're going to show you how that the angelic and the physical is manifesting simultaneously right here within this age and this dispensation. We will be taking this plate here, which is the creative age, and we will manifest it here in the second age, which is the Ante-Diluvian Age. And then we would take it here and put it in the third age, which is the post-Diluvian Age. And then we would take it here, which is the present kingdom age. And then we would take it here and show it to you in the kingdom age. And then as well, we will show you how it went right back into the realm of eternity, to show you how that everything is going to go back into its angelic state of existence. So please listen carefully. And I hope that you were paying attention when we gave you the first illustrations based upon how the creation came in. Because what you will be seeing is how they will repeat over here, see, within the physical realm of the creation, based upon what happened in the spiritual realm. So please give me your undivided attention. And I hope that you paid attention to the first principles and the things that I spoke with you before. Now, where I ended before is that I shared with you here what manifested right here. And that was how I shared how this particular age took on its ending. And when I was talking about its ending, what it was showing forth how that I shared how with plate 4, 5, and 6, and I shared with you how that we have a dove, which would be the fifth principle that would be manifesting within a heart, within a heart, within a heart, in plate number 4, a heart within a heart, within a heart, in plate number 5, and a heart within a heart, within a heart, in plate number 6. I said that if we look at the dove, that there's 3 doves that are manifesting right here, but there's only one but manifesting 3 times in this particular plate in the most holy place. What I did was I explained to you and showed you how that the post-Diluvian Age had begun based upon how that the Ante-Diluvian Age ended. I also shared with you that by these 3 plates was the reason why the high priest went in 3 times on the Day of Atonement and sprinkled blood 7 times each trip. I explained to you that there were 7 dimensions that manifest right here based upon the 7 times that the high priest had to sprinkle blood upon the mercy seat. The 7 planes are the 7 dimensions of heaven. Is the reason why that we have 7 furnishings in this tabernacle pattern and 7 steps within this tabernacle pattern. So therefore you can see why that here, when Yahweh Elohim said, "Let there be light," there were no veils within the heaven. We gave you the explanation on how that when Yahshua the Messiah was upon the cross, and when he gave up the ghost, that the veil in the tabernacle rent in twain. We shared these principles with you to show you how things began, so shall things end. Here is the Messiah when he gave up the ghost, and how that it turned. It was a phenomenal day. The phenomenal day shows forth how that it turned dark. See, from the 3rd to the 9th hour. And here it is dark. turned light and turned back dark. We show forth how the sun went down and rose again. This is showing forth how that the phenomenal day, that there was 2 days, 2 days in 1 day. Here is a manifestation of how we show forth how the veil within the temple went in twain. The temple was understood by the more greater perfect tabernacle. This is why we use the circles that are upon the top of the pattern plan of salvation chart to show you how when the veil went in twain, it divided the darkness from the light. So therefore you can understand how that we have, this is a representation of darkness, and then this would be a representation of light. And so therefore, when he gave up the ghost, it rent in twain. And this was a division between the sons who are in light, those who are in righteous, and then those who are in darkness. That was the veil, see, which was the veil of his flesh. So this is the reason why that if the veil rent in twain in the end, this was the explanation of what happened in the beginning. This is why when Moses is seeing Yahshua, the son of Nun, which is Elohim, the creator of the stellar universe, went through his transfiguration before him and showed him a reflection of his body. This is why you see the ark of life, the menorah, and the table of shewbread, which is the table of substance. This is why that he is the light of the world, to show forth that he is the light, and that the light came from the origin of the Father, manifesting as the ark of the covenant. Now, as I said to you, that here we have a dove that are manifesting within these 3 particular plates. I use them to show you how that the Ante-Diluvian Age that came to its end by the flood. I shared with you here, see, right here, that is manifesting within the holy place. Here, I showed you how by this plate here, and this plate here, and this plate here. And I showed with you that it manifested right here about how that the dove, see, had left the ark, see, on 3 trips. It left on 3 trips because of how it came in the beginning pertaining to the first day of creation and what had manifested prior up until the first day. So now when we look at the pattern, what we do is that when we're looking at the beginning, see, of the post-Diluvian age, you can see right here that there was a white dove that came up out of the ark. This ark is manifesting the ark of safety. When you come here and you see how that within this particular plate, this plate is an ascending plate. It shows forth how that the wicked were warned. Why so? Because the wicked is manifesting chaoses at this particular time. It's also manifesting all the way down so that you can be able to see how that here with the angelic transgression, it is no more. It is taken its manifestation or residence in the physical creation. Here, when you see the preparation of the ark, it is a manifestation to sit up and show you how that in the beginning, that there was a separation of the inner organic earth. This had manifested the substance, the limits, and the bounds. As well, when you come here to this particular plate and you see the building of the ark, it is manifesting the same principle as the substance to be able to create the ark of safety. Here, as when we went to this particular plate and we showed you what the mystery of how we see Yahshua manifesting himself here, or Elohim and the angels right around with him. Here you see the planet of Saturn being on the outside of cloud. This is a representation of the hidden God, which is manifesting within the darkness. Here it is showing forth how it is manifesting chaoses, to where that when it comes and it manifests within the physical creation, it is manifesting spiritual wickedness in high places. If you look here in plate number 16, in the Ante-Diluvian Age, you will see how that Cain is being emerged or baptized in spiritual wickedness in high places. Here, how you see the 666 manifesting upon his head. When we go to the scriptures, and let us go there for the sake of time, just so that we can prove all things, and to be very studious and very thorough. What we'll be doing is that when we go to the scriptures, over there in Genesis, I'm sorry, Exodus. It would show forth how, when Yahweh was speaking and asking for a proper sacrifice. And it says in Genesis, the 4th chapter, that I will start at Genesis 4:1. It says, and the man knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have begotten a man, even Yahweh. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a yielder of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And it came to pass in the end of days that Cain brought the fruit of the ground, an offering unto Yahweh. And Abel he brought also of the fatling of his flock, and of their fat. And Yahweh had respect unto Abel, and to his offering, but unto Cain, and to his offering, he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yahweh said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, thou shalt be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin offering lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Now, what I must share with you at this particular time, and I want you to pay attention to what is being said pertaining to the scriptures. We shared with you that the number 4 is the principle of change. We understand that within this tabernacle pattern that the number of change, or Yahshua said that I am the door, that this is the door into the holy place, to where one can enter into the most holy place. Now, what you have to understand by what you are looking at, by the pattern and on the charts, is pertaining to how we showed you that up here was basically, see, the arc of life and how that life came from here all the way down. So therefore, it is showing forth that when it is talking about the door, that we have an understanding that the throne of Yahweh is within your heart and within your mind. But you have to understand that since the creation is coming down, that it is talking about the door to his head or his mind. So this is why the baptism and the door that it is talking about is the door to your brain, the most holy place. To show you what I'm talking about is that the reflect is a manifestation of what took place here. The conversation that when Satan had spoken to the woman, she had asked her, what did Elohim say concerning the tree? Over in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Her reply was that we may eat freely of every tree, except the tree that's in the midst of the garden. That we shall not eat, nor touch, lest we die. And then you hear the serpent's reply is that Elohim doesn't know that in the day that you eat, you shall not surely die, but you shall be as gods. As I told you in reference to reason why that this particular planet manifesting outside of the circle representation within this darkness means the hidden God. So therefore, the explanation that he said unto her, see, was nothing no more, which had manifested within the spirit that is getting ready to take on its physical manifestation here. That is the reason why that you see a perforated line within the previous chart of the age and dispensations, which is this. Because now we're going from this state of existence to manifest within the physical. So here, this is what we are looking at. So now, what happens is that she partook of the tree because it said to make one wise. See? And so therefore, where is wisdom, which is one of the attributes of Yahweh Elohim, it is manifesting within the head cavity to show you how the conception had manifested within the head before it could take residence within the heart or the holy place. So now, as I said, we come here, and here we see how that you have the dove being released. I said that it was 3 trips because of these particular 3 trips. Here it is manifesting in the holy place right here. I told you that when you see the light light up like this. It is a manifestation of how this is Yahweh being the light or the substance, which is manifesting the principles of the menorah and the table of shewbread. This is a manifestation of how the Yahshua is the substance and the light. The principle of the dove is showing forth how it is a manifestation within the holy place, because this is a recapitulation of what took place in the spirit. How that if you can see how the darkness, because of the rain, and it rained 40 days and 40 nights, and how darkness was upon the whole face of the deep, it's the same principles which is manifested within the beginning. The boat is a manifestation, see, of the spirit. But now we're going to go into one of the ologies. The ologies that we're getting ready to go is our ornithological kingdom. The ornithological kingdom is a study of zoology that deals with birds. This is one of the ologies that are manifesting right here within this particular book. We're going to the ornithological kingdom because what it is showing forth that when we look at the ethology, which is the science of findings and causes of origin. So when we look at the ethology of what this is talking about, we have to come here. Because basically from the ethology showing forth that it was a dove in the beginning, this is going to manifest right out here based upon what happened on our 5th day of creation, which manifests right here based upon our ontological and biological kings. So now from what had happened, see, in our ethology or the ornithological state of perfection, which happened in the spirit, is manifesting now based upon Yahweh Elohim's purpose. This had took place within the creative stage, which I was telling you, which manifested here. So now what it's doing is based upon the purpose which manifested in the spirit is getting ready to take its residence within the physical creation within this particular age and dispensation here. I shared with you that from the man coming up out of the garden, this is this line right here. Now, when we come over here, when we're talking about Cain and Abel, see, it's talking about the children, see, of Adam within the first age and dispensation, and showing you how in Adam all died, because this is the age of consciousness. So now after this and them coming out of the Garden of Eden, man has consciousness, has become aware that at this particular time that he has transgressed the laws or what Yahweh has said. So now the man has died in his consciousness or within his mind, as you see, which manifests here. When you see the man Cain receiving the spirit immersion of wickedness. Now what is manifesting is that mystery of iniquity is manifesting within the world. The reason because of this is the reason why Yahweh had ended this whole age and this dispensation. I will be coming back to reiterate these charts and what happened in between, but because I had shared with you the reason why that this dove had left 3 times, I must go back and prove to you and show you by the chart why so. Now, I shared with you the reason why it is in the holy place, because it brings us all the way back here. Here it says forth how that he let out a raven in the beginning, because here, as I said, that this is an ascending plate. We're starting off here to show you how that he sent out a raven, to show you how that that is chaosis, and it was the first thing to leave its place within the kingdom. You see the blackness or the pitch that was upon the ark. It was a representation of this darkness that had manifested, see, within the realm of eternity. I shared that with you here, the reason why that this particular serpent was black, to pick up the same principles as the carbonate face of the deep. This is picking up your carbonate face of the deep based upon the coloration that is manifesting here within the ark. Here it is showing forth the same principle that when you see Yahshua here and all the angels manifesting around him here, this is the same principle here. Because after he gave the warning, you see how this was the entering into the ark right here, showing forth how the substance and life is manifesting itself right here within the holy place. As they entered into the ark, See, it says that Elohim closed the door to show you here how the blackness is manifesting the carbon space of the deep. And then when you see spirit, see, it is manifesting him, just like here. And then we understand that evilness must be on the outside. So therefore, when you follow it all the way down and you see the darkness, which is manifesting right here, as you can see the chaoses. Here you see the chaoses because these are the angels that were kicked up out of heaven. Here's Michael. Here's Satan with 666 manifesting himself right here, going into this ethereal darkness until the last day. So therefore, you see him still manifesting within the chaoses. Yahweh Elohim, I showed you by the second day of creation, allowed that both of these mysteries to be able to manifest itself within the physical creation. So now within all kingdoms and everything, both mysteries must manifest itself, which will recapitulate itself to show forth how the angelic is manifesting within the physical. So now this is the reason why I'm showing you what I'm showing you. We understand that the oldest, see, which is a representation of how you have this particular raven leaving the ark first to manifest here, because Satan had to leave, see, the kingdom or leave heaven first. So here is him being extirpated, just how you see him being extirpated, how when they said, let there be light. There had to be light and he had to be extirpated from the ark. So then by him being extirpated, he is out within ethereal darkness, as you see the manifestation here. And it says that the raven never returned, because Satan cannot ever return back into the kingdom or to the most holy place, as you see manifesting here within plate 1. So now, when you get here, he flowed to and fro. Now you see why he flew to and fro, because what's manifesting here on plate number 14, which is the angelic transgression, which is no more, is what happened, or the chaos, but is manifesting here in plate number 5. So here we understand how he went to and fro, and he never was able to have any rest for his feet, because Satan went to and fro. See, after he was kicked up out of heaven, we had picked it up to show forth when Yahweh Elohim asked where he was over there in Job, the 1st chapter in verse 6, how he went to and fro in and out of the earth. See, so this is showing forth here how he went to and fro before he entered into the earth plane on the 3rd day of creation to manifest himself as the tree, see, which was in the midst of the garden that Yahweh Elohim said not to eat. Here we see how this darkness is manifesting, the serpent and manifesting within the earth plane. And how when it came up out of the garden that I said that the redness is manifesting his judgment into the world, just like the man and the woman. And I showed you how that the man had manifested the principles within the days of creation based upon the commandment of Yahweh, based upon which judged him for transgressing here, which is the endemic transgression. So as we get here, we look and see how the dove, see, had came out. So therefore, as we said, let there be light. We come all the way here to the beginning, see, cosmogony, see. And the definition of cosmogony is a branch of science, see, with the origin of the universe. So I said that right here, see that this is the beginning of time, or how that the creation came forth. And I told you that this is the vision between spirit and matter, and this is the first heaven manifesting itself right here. So now, if you can see how that right here, when the dove had left the ark, said that it left one time here and it's showing forth, see. Then when it left a second time, see, it goes back to the days of creation. It left the first time and it returned because there was no place to rest its foot, because water was upon the face of the deep. It says that, and that is a representation of what you see here. It left the first time, came back because there was nothing. It says that when it came back the second time, we come here. It says that it returned, see, with an olive branch in his beak to show forth that the waters, see, had a base, because it must go back and pick up the principles that are manifesting within the days of creation. I told you from plates 1 to 12 that these things will recapitulate themselves within the more greater perfect tabernacle and along with Yahweh Elohim's purpose from beginning to end. So this is the reason why that I'm sharing these things with you, to show you how all these things are going to repeat themselves within the physical creation, to show you how that the perforated line in the creative age will manifest all the way through Yahweh Elohim's creation. So now you see why that based upon the waters was rolled back in the first time that the dove came out, that he came back with nothing. Here, when we look at the third day and the waters were rolled back, see just how it happened on the third day of creation. You can see how that when the waters rolled back, that the vegetation started to appear. This is the reason why that when the dove came back, it had an olive leaf in his beak. Then the third time when he let him out, see, it says that the dove did not return, because it showed Noah that the waters had abated and he had a place to rest his feet, to show forth. These are to pick up the principles that would have manifested in the ontological kingdom and had also manifested in the biological kingdom, to show you how that everything that happened in the creative age is taking its residence within the physical. You cannot have anything that did not manifest here, not manifest here. The whole creation will manifest and recapitulate everything according to the things of Yahweh Elohim and his words. So now we see how that with the rain, I'm telling you the ending before we go back to the beginning, because I had already shared with you about the dove and the 3 times and the 3 trips of the high priest. So therefore that picks up the 3. And along with the 3, we showed forth how there was a separation and a dividing between the darkness and the light, which showed forth the carbonous face of the deep pertaining to the raven that left and never came back. And we showed you why, pertaining to the angelic transgression that manifested here on plate number 14. So now when we go back and we showed you how that based upon what happened on the third day of creation that had manifested here, when Yahweh Elohim rolled back the waters, and we're showing you how both mysteries are manifesting right here, that is penetrating the earth plane, that allow both trees to manifest. So now you can see how the principle is manifesting themselves again. I showed you how as well, how that pertaining to the creation of the reptiles, the birds, and the beast of the field, how that the reptile kingdom came in before the ontological kingdom, see, and the biological kings of the earth. So when we go back to here, and we're looking at the origin of when these came in, that we see how that the reptiles came in before the lamb, or before the beast of the field that manifested here in plate number 11, which we understand to be the 6th day of creation when man was created. So the reason why that I'm saying that to you is to show you that how the reptile, see, came in, see, before the lamb, see, which is here. And then we see how that we have the lambskin, see, that is upon the woman and the man from the departure out of the garden. This is to show you how that the elder, see, had persecuted the younger. I showed you that how that the archangel was here as a witness when you seen how that cloud had manifested, which was the birth of Yahshua the Messiah. It showed forth how these angels were there, see, before the birth of Yahshua the Messiah, because they had witnessed it. So this is to show you the elder, and how that the elder, see, will persecute the younger. This is the story that you see here in the beginning, and this is the story that you will see manifest throughout and perpetuate throughout Yahweh Elohim's purpose. It says that Cain was older than Abel. So now you see how that Cain was influenced and he slayed his brother, because that is the same principle that had manifested here. And that is the principle that had manifested here in the angelic creation in the beginning. And this was the reflect of it manifesting right here. The jealousy and the death that had manifest right here. How the elder, see, had slayed his brother. And this is the reason why that I said when you are looking at this particular plate here, which is the darkness, it is manifesting. That when we look here, that this is a manifestation of the Lamb being slain before the foundation of the world, which is manifesting right here. Now we have picked up the principles on how that the dove had manifested what had happened in plates 4, 5, and 6, and then how that with the same principles had manifested themselves within the physical creation. The reason why I said that we were going to use ologies is because the ologies was going to help define the things that are manifesting within the spirit that is going to manifest within the physical realm. We have ologies such as etymology, which is the source of words. We have lexicography, which is complying of words or dictionaries for a person to gather an understanding. We have history, which is records or the study of past events. We have genetics, which is inherited characteristics. Anthropology, which is politics and customs. Chronology, which is history and records and establishing of data and events. We have geography, which is earth resources, climates, in certain physical areas. We have philosophy, which are reasons and arrangements and speaking truth and knowledge. We have physiology, which is the mind, mental characteristics of a person's or personal situation. We have the cosmology, which is a branch of science dealing with the origin of the universe. We have ontology, which is the branch of metaphysics dealing with nature of beings. We have zoology, which is the study or the behavior of animals or the animal life of a particular area. We have etymology, which is the science of finding the causes of origins. We have geology, which is the science or the study of the Earth's physical structure. We have another ology, which is ontological, that we already picked that up in biology, which is the study of living organisms. And we have eschatology, which is the theory concerning death, judgment, and final destiny of the soul of mankind. So basically what we have been dealing with the ology of eschatology, because we showed for that how pertaining to the coloration of this particular raven, this particular serpent, shows forth how when we go all the way back here with the coloration of chaosis, we go back here with the coloration of chaosis, and then with the coloration of red, we show forth judgment. And so therefore with the judgment, we see how it is manifesting within the world. This is why that we take all these ologies, and it's very important because the ologies pick up all the subject matter and everything from the origin of creation. So when we get the ethology and we use that, we have to go back there so that at that starting point, we see how everything in existence manifests and how that with these particular things, we see both mysteries take its residence within the physical creation. Just how the physical creation had manifested itself, it will constantly, perpetually duplicate everything that happened within the days of creation, and everything happened up until the man in the garden with his wife. All these principles will remanifest. And I'm going to show you that by this chart and the vision. So now I've showed you what had happened in the end of the post. I showed you what's happened in the beginning of the post-Diluvian age by what happened with the raven, the dove, and this being the ark or the substance of life, and then how it rested on Mount Ararat. And then Yahweh had gave a promise using this bow, showing forth how he would not destroy the earth by water again. See? And the reason being why is because we come here in the beginning to show you how that he had divided the waters above from those beneath. And based upon in the beginning, how when you see that water was the only thing and the only source, when he divided spirit and the waters to where the spirit of Elohim moved upon the face of the deep, both spirits moved upon the face of the deep, and it said that the darkness comprehended it not. This was an explanation of the reason why they could kill everything in water, because of the spirit moving upon the face of the deep. The ark was a manifestation of spirit. We showed you that here. See? Showed you that here, the manifest was manifesting right here. So now, here, it takes us back to these two particular places. Because now I showed you that we have to pick up the time frame that is getting ready to manifest this 1656 years that are manifesting right here, that you're going to see that is manifesting from right here, see, which starts off with the death of Abel, and that had manifested and ended with the flood, see, because it says the Ante-Diluvian Age ended by the flood, and then it says the beginning of the Post-Diluvian Age. So therefore, what you're looking at, what is explanation of, if you can see, I do apologize, let me set this over just a little bit here. But this is the explanation of, is showing you how that from this 1656 years, how when it ended the Ante-Diluvian Age up into the Post-Diluvian Age, we are showing you that in picture form right here. And we're showing you by the angelic transgression, see, which is this line right here, is picking up how this is the dispensation, see, in age being the second age of consciousness, is manifesting itself, see, from here to here. And so therefore, we're going to give you, this is the pictorial illustration of what happened from here to here, which is the first and second dispensation. It's beginning with Adam coming out of the garden. This is why you have Adam here. And it says it ends with Noah. And this is why you see it ending with Noah and the ark being upon the Mount Ararat. And then you see the bow. See that with Yahweh's covenant are promised unto the whole entire world. Man and beast, that he will no longer destroy the earth by water again, which is the rainbow manifesting right here. I do apologize for not allowing you to be able to see. So therefore, when we are looking at this, we can understand the time frame because we are on Yahweh Elohim's timetable, which is manifesting right here. I gave you the principles of this. So now here, when we come to plates 16 and 17, what I'm going to do is explain to you the mysteries of these two plates, because it is not regularly and generally understood about these two particular plates. So therefore, based upon the explanations that I had given you earlier, I must use them as examples so that you can understand what is manifesting in plate 16 and plate 17. These two plates as well are ascending plates, just like all the rest of them. All these plates that are going all the way down here from, you see, from plate 16 to plate 20 are all ascending plates. They're ascending, meaning that we have to start within the court roundabout and go up. Now, after Cain has slain Abel, and you see right here, this is a spiritual immersion in wickedness. I showed you that when Yahweh Elohim said that he waiteth at the door, that the door is the principle of the mind. We showed you how that in the most holy place, there was a principle of four, and that was a door, because there is a door up there within your most holy place. We understand that, and we use the principles based upon how that the Ark of the Covenant had a lid or a mercy seat where the 10 Commandment laws were inside. These are the same principles of which we shared with you, how there is a door, and that these are laws, see, that are placed in your heart and in your mind. When we come to the chart or the vision being revealed right here, this is the explanation of when you look here, how that when you look at the physical creature here from the angelic creature, here is that perforated line. Here, this is a manifestation showing you the angelic. Here is the spirit of Elohim manifesting as a dove above the man, and you can see first in the holiness that is manifesting by the coloration in the man. Here is showing forth, here with this perforated line, the physical individual, because this is showing Cain and this is showing Abel, because I told you that the angelic creation is manifesting and taking its residence within the physical realm. When you see this darkness manifesting within his face, it is showing forth this darkness that is manifesting all around the edges of this particular chart. And it's showing forth that the darkness is in his mind. When you see the 7 and 3 that is manifesting within his chest cavity, is showing forth how, when I said that with the Ark of the Covenant, see, they opened up the lid and they put the 10 Commandment laws within, see, the Ark of the Covenant. They put also a bowl of manna and Aaron's rod that budded. So therefore, this is showing forth that with that door or the mercy seat was the door into this man's mind. And I'm talking about the individual Cain, to where that spiritual wickedness emerged him and entered into his mind. This is why the scripture says that Yahweh Elohim shall give them strong delusions and things of that particular nature, because the door of their mind, see, is what leads them to the door of their heart. So you have to take the conception, and it says what's in the mind is within the heart. And these two are one, because it was the seat of where the Messiah sits. And once you allow that beast to come in based upon his spiritual immersion, this is where he abides. So now this is a house that is manifesting the negative principles. To go back to over there in John, I believe, 8:44, how that Satan was a murderer from the beginning. And see, it says that here is showing forth how when we go to place number 16, it is showing him by when he entered into the man Cain and slew his brother, how that he was a murderer from the beginning. So these are the principles that it was talking about within the scriptures. And what we are doing is giving you a physical representation of what manifested within the scriptures and showing you the origin of how it took place here. So now we see that when we look at everything that is manifesting here, and I said this is ascending plate, I will come back because I want to reiterate myself based upon the things that had happened previously, and then the things that you are seeing within this particular plate. So therefore, when we come here, we see how that Cain was marked, see, and now he's looking, see, in the land of Nod, okay, with his wife. And then when you come up here, we have the city of Enoch, okay? And this is showing forth the apostasy, all right? And it says Ante-Diluvian Age, and it says apostasy, because this was going against everything that Yahweh Elohim had commanded the man to do. So now we see here. Now, as well, we come over to this plate, and to show you why that these plates are so synonymous, see? So now we see how the man was immersed in wickedness, and we're picking that up here because I showed you how when you see the darkness and you see how the satanic host was moving, see, within this darkness before they divided the waters above and those beneath, and that he was moving upon that, and he was in darkness to show you spiritual wickedness in high places. That is still manifesting right now, and it's manifesting throughout time here, okay? Now, question is that now, based upon the principles that I said, and I spoke to you here, see, I hope you remember that I said that the reason why on the first day of creation that there was no veils, and the veils did not start manifesting until he divided the waters above and those beneath, and then he put the veils within the sky. And this is the reason why that you see the veils here, that is separating the most holy place from the holy place and the court round about that manifested on the second day. I told you that on the first day of creation that there was no veils, that there were 7 dimensions and 7 planes of the heavens because of the 7 furnishings or the seven steps that are within the tabernacle pattern. Okay, it cannot change. Now, this is the explanation on the reason why that when you go to the scriptures and you come here, it is picking up the birth of Enoch. If we understand within the scriptures who Enoch is the 7th from Adam. So if I said that there were 7 planes, see, that had manifested right here in the beginning on the first day of creation, and you see Elohim manifesting himself right there, then therefore we have to come all the way down 7 days. And then not only 7 days, we have to come down, see, to the 7th generation, because I shared with you in my previous lecture how that the days of creation manifest within the man. This is why I ask you that if you have not seen my previous lectures, please go back and catch up so that you can understand the principles that are being ran, okay? So now, this is the explanation, the reason why you see the man right here, or Elohim, within the Sabbath. I'm going to give you the explanation of what you are looking at and within this hieroglyphic or within the vision right here. Because in class, it is not generally understood what this is a representation of or what this means. Now, based upon everything that happened previously, see, we ought to be able to look at this and be able to understand what the mystery is, that when you're looking at D, E, and F, pertaining to what happened in A, B, and C. Now, in my discourse, I will reveal to you the mystery of what you are looking at when you see Elohim standing in plate number D as the Sabbath. But now let me continue. So now, as I shared with you pertaining to the planes that manifest here, see, within the first day of creation, and there being no veils. And I said how everything that had manifested within the days of creation had manifested within the man. I shared with you how that with the principles of how that when the man was judged, how that had manifested the second day of creation, because it says from the sweat of his brow, see, that he shall till the ground. See, and then how that he was a S-O-N and he manifested with the S-U-N and he came down with the sun in the cool of the day. See, when Yahweh Elohim said, let there be light, there was judgment. That was a judgment that was judging for the serpent between being black, see, and then being red when he came out. The same is manifesting within the man because he partook, see, of the tree of knowledge of good and of evil, which you see here, which is a representation of this, and this is the reason why the man has to die. That is the reason why that black dot is above, see, that tombstone, because he partook of death, and so therefore death had to manifest and reign. It says that death reigned from Adam unto Moses. We haven't got there yet, but I'm just trying to show you how the principles and everything that happened within the days of creation had manifest with the man, okay? So now it's getting ready to recapitulate itself because now we have to go to the seventh, see, born of Adam to show you how that with the seven planes, see, they had manifested within the heaven. And this is a representation to show you that if I said that there were seven planes and there was no veils, now I kind of already prematurely gave you the explanation of reason why that Enoch was translated and he did not die. You understand? Because see, if you look here, if there were no veils, then there is no obstruction from him to return all the way back because there is no veils. See? So that being simple, and to show you how that this gospel or this vision is unerring based upon the things, see, that are freely given, if we be obedient and we listen unto the things of what our founder gave us to be able to understand his vision and revelation. This is why I say that I am a forever student, to be able to study these things. Because once you be able to understand the principles and everything that I'm saying to you based upon the rules and regulations or the rules of engagement pertaining to the vision of our founder, it will be easy for you to be able to stand the principles in the Ishi. So now, very interestingly, that if we come here, I had the scripture reading being read for a reason. Now, here is manifesting biology, because now the organisms, see, are life forms, or it's mankind, which are organisms. So now we must use biology principles. Now what I'm saying to you is this. That brings us back to the third day of creation, because these are organisms. And the reason why it's bringing us back to the third day of creation is also bringing us back here to the second day of creation, see, which is manifesting how the eye of Yahweh, see, which we use the scripture of Proverbs 15:3, how the eyes of Yahweh is beholding the evil and the good. We're seeing both mysteries penetrate the earth plane. It's getting ready to produce both trees, because this is how it manifested here. This is how I showed you how both of these mysteries are manifesting here. They're manifested on the biological or the vegetation kingdom. Okay, so here is our biology that's getting ready to manifest again right here. These are the two living organisms. It's either a plant, seed, or something living. Any living organism, and that is man too, or a beast. So now, what's quite interesting was that when I read the scripture reading, it said that the woman in the gate and the prophet Elijah had came to the gate. Okay? Said that she was out picking up sticks. See? Now here, he hit his brother upon the head with the stick. You understand what I'm saying? Now, what I just read to you, that had happened over here in the post-Diluvian age. Right here. This is where it manifested at. Right here. And I'm going to show you how what I read to you in the post-Diluvian age is going to manifest right over here in the second age, or the Ante-Diluvian age, but which is a recapitulation which manifested here in the creative age. That is the reason why that I read this particular scripture. Now, this happened over in Kings, which manifested over here. If you understand who Elijah is the same one who manifested as John the Baptist. John the Baptist was beheaded. See, he was the one who baptized Yahshua, the son of Nun. No, I'm sorry, not Yahshua, the son of Yahshua, the Messiah. Please excuse me, but they were one and the same. And I'm talking about the one when you're looking at this manifestation right here. See, he baptized Yahshua. And it says that he was the one in the wilderness, see, trying to make straight the way of the Messiah. See, this is who I'm talking about. Because John, see, the Baptist had the spirit of Elijah. That had manifested over here in, see, the post-Diluvian age. Now, when I read to you over there, it said that she was picking up sticks. See that stick there? That was the stick that he used, see, to kill his brother. Here's the same stick that Moses had in his hand when he came to the burning bush. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that this is the same exact stick, the one that Cain had, that Moses had. I'm not saying that. But it's a principle of the man gathering sticks. Now, here is a woman that is gathering sticks. Now, when Moses threw down this stick, it turned into a serpent. You understand what I'm saying? And if you understand what I said in my previous lecture, that this is a manifestation of the tree of life and the tree of good and of evil. Why? Because when Moses threw down his rod, you understand what I'm saying, it turned into a serpent. Just like how the woman, see in the beginning, see was talking to the serpent that had manifested here around this particular tree. Okay? This is why it says that the manifestation will change, but the principle will remain the same. So what we're doing is running the same principle perpetually all the way from the realm of eternity, or the angelic, and manifesting in the physical realm. This is what we're doing. So please, listen very carefully to what's being said. Please listen to the scriptures, and please be open to what you are seeing so that you can be able to use your ascertainment, because this is how the exam is being applied. So what we're doing is, by all the principles that I have previously showed you from plates 1 to 12, or actually plates 1 to 15, because that is the ending, see, of the creative age that is going into the Ante-Diluvian age, and all these principles will remanifest themselves from this age. They're going to remanifest in this age all the way down. So just how Elder Van Hook was telling you that you take this and you stack it on this and you stack it on this, just like how we was talking about how when you use the physiology book and you take the layers of the man and you fold them over and over and over, and then you have the man all the way there with his muscular system, with all the system, all his 9 major systems manifested with his skeleton system. And then you take each page and you flip them back, and then what will happen is it's just the skeleton system of the man. So what we're doing is we're doing the same thing with this vision. Now, going back to the question of why was Enoch, see, the 7th of Adam translated? I just told you the answer and showed you the answer, see, and showed you by the vision and showed you by the steps based upon what had happened on the first day. So now one thing that I wanted to show you that is very interesting, see, oh, let me finish picking up my point. Now, I showed you about the stick. Now, it says that the lady was picking up sticks in the front of the city. Okay? Now, those sticks is a representation when we go over there to the 17th chapter of Kings. Those sticks are manifesting her sin, or that serpent says that she was picking up sticks. So therefore, if you understand what was being said, When he seen her, it says in verse 10, and he arose and he went to Zarephath, and he came and behold the gate of the city, and there was a widow, and she was gathering sticks, and he called unto her. That's just like how, see, when the man had fig leaves around his woman, around his loins, see, and that Yahweh Elohim had called unto the man, Adam, Adam, where art thou? You understand what I'm saying? So now it's a recapitulation. It says that the woman is gathering sticks, okay? And then he cried out unto the woman. The same thing that happened here, we see and we manifest. We understand that the fruit came from the tree, which manifested as a stick, tree, fruit, principles of a tree, as I stated in the exam, as remanifesting right here. So therefore, she was gathering sticks. In the story, she said that she was gathering the sticks so that her and her son could eat for the last time and die, because that is picking up this principle. So therefore, with the sticks that she was picking up, that you see here is manifesting a principle of death. And now we're showing you something that is manifesting right here. See, in the post-Diluvian age, see, with Elijah, because we are in in 1 Kings, the 17th chapter, and this is what manifested right here, because you have the Noahic covenant that manifests right here, the Tower of Babel, and then what we're getting at is we're getting ready to build up and come to the Melchizedek and Abrahamic kingdom and priesthood. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, you have to go to these current events because this is a manifestation of history and time. So this is another ology, which is history, see, that is manifesting within this little pamphlet that we have to go back and get to make sure that the stories and the facts are clear and they are going according to what we were taught based upon principles being line upon line, precept upon precept. And we have to go a little here, which is the law, and a little over here to the prophets, which is showing you a division between the days or the division between light and darkness. So therefore, as I said, we're going back and we're going all the way back and we're going using our ethology to show you the science and the findings of these facts and the origin of where they come from. This is why these ologies are so important for us to execute, because when we use the ologies, it takes care of the 4 W's or the 5 W's, the who, what, when, where, and how, okay? So with all of that, asking all those questions, that when we use our ologies, see, it gives us the answers. And that's the reason why that this little pamphlet and see, and all these ologies are so important when we use them coming through the timetables or Yahweh's timetables, because it makes things very self-explanatory. So now, as I was stating and showing you at the same time how that we are here. Now here we are in the third dispensation, and I said that I was going to come here to the second age and dispensation to show you how the creative age is manifesting here. But now I'm reading over here in the third age or in the post-Diluvian age, showing you principles that had manifested over here in the second age, but the reflect of them is coming here in the creative. Because I told you I was going to take this particular plate of what happened here and show it to you here and show it to you here. But what I have did was actually went here and showed them to you here, and I'm showing them to you here, and I'm showing it to you in reverse. See? So that just to show you that if I'm showing it to you in reverse, and I said I was going to go from here to here to here, obviously it must be true. So now what we're looking at is what I said based upon the rules of engagement, that the manifestation will change, but the principle will remain the same. And so therefore, with the principles that we have gathered in 1 Kings, the 17th chapter, verses 10, where she was picking up sticks. We got the sticks where it's picking up death. And that's how we have within the scriptures how you got 666 in your hand and 666 in your head. You got the mark of the beast in your hand and in your forehead. This is what John was talking about when he was on the Isle of Patmos. The reason why we're picking up John is because John is the revelator. John is picking up the principles based upon what happened when the other John was beheaded. That is the other John picking up the same principles that he did. You understand what I'm saying? But he was a recipient of the Holy Spirit. And I'm not saying that this John that was beheaded died and the Spirit got in that John. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to show you that the witnesses are manifesting the reflex that are perpetuated all the way through the purpose of Yahweh. So therefore you may hear names, just like how I used in my previous lecture, Saul or Paul. See, that was walking on the road of Damascus. He was another capitulation in this age and dispensation of what happened with King Saul, being the first three kings. So down here, he was the father of all of the Gentiles. See, he was not manifested as a king. So it took him from going from being a king and started to manifest a father, even though that he manifested the same thing that King Saul did by persecuting the Israelites. He did it in ignorance, but Yahweh said that King Saul would persecute Israel because Yahweh was their king and they wanted a physical man. So now here we are within the scriptures, and the same thing is happening and is perpetuating, coming all the way back. So now, based upon the sticks, was a manifestation of death. And then what I want to share with you is this, that when we go all the way down, and let's go to, I think this is beautiful. Listen to these principles. Let's go down to verse 18. And it says, and she said unto Elijah, what have I to do with thee, O thou man of Elohim? Art thou called unto my sins to remembrance and to slay me? Now, if you listen to those words, oh, what have I to do with thee, O son of Elohim, O man of Elohim? If you recall the time when Yahshua Messiah was walking upon the earth plane and he was casting devils out of the flesh of the Israelites, and he would cast them out, and it says that the satanic spirits would say to him, what do I have to do with thee, you Yahshua, you son of the Most High? Now, this is a remanifestation of a recapitulation of those very words, for the simple fact I told you that both mysteries are manifesting within the flesh now. Okay? So now, this is a woman that was picking up sticks. Okay? So listen to this. And now she said, what have I have to do with thee? You come to bring my sins to remembrance to me? Because it says right here in verse 17, let me go and pick up the train of thought in verse 17, how it says, and it came to pass after these things that the son of the woman, the mistress of the house, son fell sick, and his sickness was so sore that there was no breath left in him. So therefore, that the man fell sick, the son fell sick. It sounds like what's going on now with this pandemic that's going on. And I'm just saying that to you because this is to show forth how these principles are perpetuating all the way through time, even until now. So now it says that then it was a drought. Food was very scarce. It was very hard to get, kind of like what's going on right now with the economy and the food and the things that are going on based upon this pandemic. So therefore, the son had fell sick, okay? And then it says right here in verse 19, it says that her son had died. There was no more breath in him, okay? So the young man died. Now we in verse 19. And he said unto her, give me thy son. And he took him out of her bosom. Now, wait a minute. Right here, see, it says that her son was in her bosom, and the young man was dead. And so therefore, it says that the man of Elohim had took the child out of her bosom. I want you to go back and remember the story of what happened here. Because as I said, the story must recapitulate itself. Now, when Moses was here, see, right out here with his father-in-law, Jethro, or Ruel, see, and he was out here with his flock, and he says, let me turn to see this great sight when he's seen this bush burn and not be consumed. Now, one of the first signs was that he seen the serpent, and he seen death. It had to be a stick. It had to be death. So therefore, one of the power signs was here that Yahweh Elohim said to take his hand and stick it into his bosom. Moses stuck his hand into his bosom, and it says that when Moses pulled it out, it had leprosy. And we understand that when a person had leprosy at this particular time, it was a representation of death. When we go back here to the scriptures here, see, and let me share something with you too, that what is manifesting is happening right here. It's manifesting within the same age, in the same dispensation. It's just happening with Moses, what's happening, see, with the child. This is within the same age and dispensation many years after or before. You understand what I'm saying? Now, this happened before with Elijah, and this happened afterward. So therefore, when Moses pulled his hand out, he seen his hand, it had leprosy, which is likened unto death. It says that Moses stuck his hand back within his bosom, and Moses plucked it out, and his hand was whole again. So here we have within the scriptures, within the same age, within the same dispensation, that the man of Elohim took the child up out of the woman's bosom. Why so the bosom? Because what is happening here, see, is a representation of death. Takes us back here, all the way back into the garden, when the woman had consumed, and she ate. And it says it came down her throat, and it represented death, which allowed her to sit up and die. So here within her bosom, as we can see, that based upon the transgression is showing forth with the 7 and 3, that represents death. The child is dead, represented right here within her bosom, and here's the death showing you within the bosom here. Now, when we go back here, I want to show something to you too, so that you can understand what is manifesting, and it is the same principle. When I said when you go back and you look at the lamb slain within the foundation of the world, that right here I said that when you see the Messiah right here, how that when he was created right here, that he was within the bosom of the Father. Now this is him still within the bosom, but here, see, with the chaoses, I told you the angelic transgression, this was the child dying within the woman's bosom right here, as a representation of the lamb being slain from the foundation of the world. If you take it all the way down, you can see that this is the head and the chest cavity, and this is the abdominal cavity. So here, when you see death, and this is manifesting within the principles of Virgin Mother Earth that is happening within the beginning, if you understand the principles, then we take it all the way down. Because I told you that we have to take this as ethology and come to the source of the beginning, see, or the cosmogony, which is the science of the origin of the beginning of the universe, and bring it all the way down and show you what is manifesting right here. And I told you that this is showing forth how from the realm of eternity or the creative age, see how that things is taking on a physical residence within the creation. I do apologize for not being able to allow these illustrations to be a little bit more clear and vivid, but I am doing the best that I can with what I have to work with. So this is why I asked you to get your own archetype to be able to see what is manifesting right here. When you see the man, see, had took the stick and killed, see, his brother. So now she is talking about her sins right here in verse 19, because it is picking up the principle of sin. Now that the man of Elohim had took the child, see, out of her breast, see, or her bosom, he said he carried him into a loft where he abode and laid him upon his own bed. Now, let me share this with you because we must go back here. It says that he took the child, see, back up into his loft. Took the child from death and took him up to his loft. Was taking him up right up here, okay? Because now he's making the round trip. Now he's back up here. Now what's getting ready to happen is that within the scriptures, we're getting ready to read what had took place. I want you to come all the way back. We're going to go back and we're going to use ethology again. I want you to come back, see, right back here. Because what's getting ready to happen here, we had already seen the eschatology, which was the judgment and everything that had happened. But now it's going to take us back to our cosmogony to show you the ethology of what's getting ready to happen, the cause or the origin of what's getting ready to manifest later on down the line. I told you that here is 1, 2, 3. And these 3 particular places was the reason why that the high priest had went up into the most holy place. So now we have Elijah that was here in this compartment. He went up into the most holy place and he has manifested himself within the loft. So I wanted to take these principles because what did you see here based upon these 3 principles that manifested in 6, 5, and 4 is getting ready to manifest what you're getting ready to hear, what I'm getting ready to read to you, which I read to you already previously. So now let's go back here and look at the vision and see the same principles manifest that are manifesting within our Ante-Diluvian age. There you go. Okay. All right. So now we're going to see the principles as they're manifesting right here. Now listen to this. And Elijah cried unto Yahweh and said, O Yahweh, my Elohim, hast thou brought evil upon the widow of whom I sojourn by slaying her son? Now, did you hear that? He says, O Yahweh Elohim, he cried. Just like how when Yahshua was upon the cross, he cried unto the Father and asked the Father, see, right here, Father, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? All these things must perpetuate. And where is this happening at? This is happening in the post-Diluvian age as well, the ending of the post-Diluvian age. All these things are remanifesting, and it's manifesting within the same age. So now I'm bringing you back to the vision that's being revealed, which is here to show you so that you can understand how that was time based upon the Father's timetable, how it is manifesting and recapitulating his purpose over and over and over again. And so now it says he stretched himself upon the child 3 times and cried unto Yahweh and said, O Yahweh, my Eloah, I pray thee, let this child's soul come into him again. Oh, so now he says he laid upon him 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and the child lived. He was alive. He went through his death, burial, and resurrection. His death, and he was buried in a dead in water, and he resurrected. It was 3 days, 3 phenomenal days. 1, 2, 3. He laid upon him 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and asked that his soul, which is the spirit, and when we come here to show you how that the soul and the spirit was divided, the body was divided, the spirit and soul was divided right here. We're trying to show you how these principles that you come here to the spirit and see how they reflect and manifest themselves again within the purpose of Yahweh Elohim. Here it shows forth there was a division between body and soul, and then a division between soul and spirit. And so now when you're up here, it says that he laid upon the child and he laid upon him 3 times and his soul entered into him again. And here is showing you the division between soul and spirit. Up here, he was praying into the Father in spirit, and the spirit, which is Yahweh, heard him and answered his prayer and entered back into the child. And now we're showing you these principles based upon when he breathed the breath of life into the man, and the man became a living soul. These principles are remanifesting themselves over and over again within the purpose of Yahweh. This is why we are using these charts to show you, based upon the timetable, to show you how that when you use, see, the perception and direction exam, that the examination, how you apply it all the way down with theologies that we have. We are not a fly-by-night organization. Our organization is dedicated to showing proof the existence of Yahweh, our Elohim, as he really is and actually exists. We have 10 primary aims and objectives of our school. Those aims and objectives that we use are the laws that we use to dictate us. See, in our everyday walk. One of our aims and objectives of our school is to help you find and know Yahweh, our Elohim, as he really is and actually exists. Our second aim and objective of our school is to form a nucleus of universal brotherhood of humanity in Yahshua the Messiah, without the distinction of race, nationality, creed, sex, caste, or color. The next aim and objective of our school is to investigate the unexplained spirit law or so-called laws of nature and the powers latent in man. And this is exactly what we're doing. So this is why with the aims and objectives that we have when we use these ologies, see, and we have these 30 ologies, we use them to be able to understand and be able to decipher what is going on, see, in the vision, to understand the purpose based upon how it was laid down, see, on this 40-play chart, and then be able to understand it based upon the scriptures that we read. So here, as I was reading to you and showing you what had happened here, see, in the post-Diluvian age was a reflect of the things that you see manifest right here in the Ante-Diluvian age. That's why I got the pictures to show you what was happening, see, in a whole nother age, in a whole nother world, even before we got here, which was manifesting here, for me to draw it back and show you what had happened within the spiritual realm. See, now there is more things to be revealed right here. And I will be more than happy to sit up and go into these things. And so this is why I wanted to go back and get the scriptures and show you these things so that you can be able to understand. Now, this is how you apply your script ascertainment exam and your direction exam. Because number one, you must have a direction on where you're going. If you do not have a direction, then you will not even understand how to examine anything else so that your perception of what you're looking at can line up with the scriptures. This is why Yahweh Elohim had inspired me and told me to put that in the book of the Ishi that he has given unto me. See? Which is this book. This is the book that I read pertaining to the vision that's being revealed. These are the subject matters and points that are in this book to help you understand this vision and revelation of our founder based upon the vision and revelation that was given to me in 2002, which is this one. And you can see by the things that are on the chart, the similarities, see, of what you are seeing based upon the charts and the principles that are being ran, see, on the vision that is being revealed to you of our founder, Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley. So now, when we come back here, see, all we're doing is using the perception exam, and we're going to run it all the way through. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to show you, I already showed you the reason why that we came to the seventh of Adam. See, because now what you have to understand is that with the seventh of Adam, what is happening here is the same thing that is happening here. Here you see that this is the birth, see, of Enoch. See, the seventh, see, the one who prophesies. See, and he was translated into the kingdom. I had already showed you the mystery and the reason why. Because if there was no veils, see, based upon the seven planes that happened in the beginning, this is the reason why that he was taken up. See, to show you that. And it was the return based upon what had came down into the creation. So now when we get here, see, within the holy place, and we're looking at Cain and his wife, and then we see up here, see, what's manifesting when it's manifesting the apostasy. And see, this is the thing that we're going to get into the next lecture, that Cain had a son named Enoch too. Okay. Now, the meaning of Enoch means dedicated. We looked that up in the Smith Bible Dictionary to be able to understand what Enoch means. Now, as I said, you have the mystery of iniquity manifesting right here, and then you have the mystery of righteousness manifesting right here within the Ante-Diluvian Age. Both of these are manifesting at the same time in the same world, okay? And this is what we're going to be getting into, okay? Our next lecture. What is manifesting right here? This is a mystery, see, that's getting ready to be revealed that the world has never even asked questions about, that people haven't even pondered, and members that are within the Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research have not even touched, see, this mystery that is manifesting right here. Nor have they even brought up the question of why is it that you have the city of Enoch and then you have somebody else named Enoch. Now, the answer to that particular question is that I told you that what we are looking at a principle of biology that is manifesting here with two organisms, okay? The organisms came from the elements of the earth or the substance of Virgin Mother Earth, all right? So therefore, when we are using that, what we have done was we have went back and got the cosmology, which is a sign of it, of how, see, that it is getting ready to manifest itself, okay? We showed you where the genetics had manifested. Genetics had manifested its origin from back here, okay? Back within the realm of eternity to show forth the purpose of biology that's getting ready to manifest. You understand? We went back and got the etology of it, and showed you where the existence of were manifested from the beginning of the creation. All right. Then what we did was we showed you, see, how that here we use the ology based upon the animals that were manifesting here, based upon the sacrifices, see, that he used a human being opposed to the animals that were manifesting right here. And now these animals, see, we understand the origin of where they was created because they was created at the same time as man. We showed you history, we showed you chronology, see? And then we showed you anthropology too, because then we showed you the politics and the customs. And the custom was do what? To be able to bring a sacrifice, you understand, unto Yahweh at its proper time. Okay? And see, all these things are beautiful because they line up. They line up. And so this is why we use philosophy, because that is the reason and the language in which one speaks truth and knowledge. That's why we use a pattern. And that's why all these ologies are so prevalent to the things that we say and we teach. We must use these ologies to go back to expound, to show you how these things, what I just showed you, the spiritual aspect of them and how they come forth. Now I'm kind of limited on time. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to come back and I'm going to pick up. I already gave you the mystery, the reason why that the seventh from Adam was translated into the kingdom, and it had to be the seventh from Adam. The other principle, the reason why it had to be the seventh from Adam is because when we go back to this principle right here that I was sharing with you, when we was talking about the furnishings, that the reason why, another reason why that he was the seventh was because when we come here and we look at the furnishing, that the menorah that is manifesting right here has 7 branches on it, and we call it the 7-branch lampstand. Okay? So therefore, 7 branches is manifesting right here because of the 7 days of creation. It says that Yahweh Elohim, that he worked 6 days, and on the 7th day that he rested from his work. And then I said to you that I was going to tell you or reveal to you the mystery, the reason why Yahweh Elohim was manifesting himself in the Sabbath day in plague 7. Now, the reason why I'm telling you all these things is because later on down the line in the prophecy, they will come up again. I'm trying to prepare you for them so that when you hear them again, you will be able to see the principles with a little bit more understanding of how they had the reflect of them had manifested within the beginning. Now, if you understand the principles of what I said to you and you're looking at Yahweh Elohim manifesting right here, the mystery of this right here is this. I showed you that in the beginning that when you see Yahweh Elohim manifesting here, that this is a man manifesting, being naked and not ashamed. And I said that the theosophy is the female counterpart of this. And how that here, which is the substance, the limits, and the bounds, see, manifested within the creation and took on shape and form by the 9 major attributes and the word of Yahweh Elohim. And to show forth how that by these attributes, when he spoke, that the creation did not transgress his command. So when we come here, if you understand how you see the man and he's standing on the earth plane, that this is the man naked and the woman not ashamed, because the earth plane of Virgin Mother Earth represents the bride of Yahweh Elohim. And then the sun is representing this son and is showing forth the man, his bride, and his child. See, to show forth how that the woman, see, brought forth offspring, and there's the man and his woman, and they are naked and they are not ashamed. So this is showing forth how everything has produced life. That is the mystery of what you're looking at when you're looking at the letter D here, showing forth the man, his woman, he is not ashamed. And everything that Yahweh Elohim created was good and very good, and he rested from all of his work. And he didn't do anything from this point on. because everything that had manifested from this point on had manifested through his son, which is Yahshua, the Messiah. So this is why you see all the way through that here, you see the outer, which is the exterior. See? And then when you get down here, you see the interior. Because see, this is the exterior and the interior of the creation. Because all the way up until you get to day 2, all you see is all of the exterior. Because before, when you look at it coming into existence, you see the interior before the veils were placed up. And then after you've seen the covering that had manifested on the 2nd day, then you've seen with the 3rd day, the structure of everything that had manifested about that everything that had manifested inside of it, based upon the Son manifesting what happened, being glorified as the Shekinah that happened within the 1st day. And then you see how you got the angels that are manifesting all on the veils by the things of the stars and the birds and the flowers that are manifesting on the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th day, because the angels that are on the veil is a physical manifestation of what we was understanding of how we went and got the ontological and biological kings. See? And then we showed you how that was a reflect of what happened. See here. And there's the bird there to show you about what happened based upon what happened on the 4th day. This is what he used to represent his creative manifestation, and it was glorified, see, on the 5th day of creation, and then manifested as one of his banners to represent Elohim here, pertaining to an eagle. We seen the lion. See, we got the eagle for Elohim. Then we got the lion that had manifested right here. And I told you that manifested when the man was created to show forth how the man had dominion over the beast of the field to manifest the King of Kings manifesting right here. So now you got the eagle, you got the lion, and the man. You understand what I'm saying? So you got the eagle, the lion, and the man. And so therefore, when we came up here, we used the elephant that had manifested strength. But what we have to understand is that when we come here, we have to get the rudiments, see, and the attributes to show forth of a lamb, because a lamb is a rudiment. And what I mean by that, our rumen is an explanation of what animals are of a horned nature. This is another thing, the reason why we use zoology. We already went back and got the oceanology, because it's another principle of what happened in zoology. A lot of the ologies that we use are intertwined with one another. So when we say certain ologies, another ology is going to follow that. And so with that, and if it does, then it picks up the explanation already for the ology that is presently used at hand. So that is the explanation of that when I said that the principles that are used, see, in this particular pamphlet, see, which is the, the scientific introduction to the pattern of the Mosaic tabernacle. See, so that's the reason why that I say the things that I say when I open up and share with you, see, the mystery that is manifesting right here. Now, Elder Van Hook was telling you how that this was the signature right here of the woman. Next time that we get together, I'm going to show you the signature of the sun. And I'm going to share with you what the mystery is pertaining to these planets and these things that are right up here. See, because it's not regularly got into class. Just how they do not tell you regularly what this means in class, because a lot of ministers do not know, because they do not follow the principles of the exam that I'm trying to bring to light as we speak. A lot of ministers don't use the principles of engagement of what our founder said, how the manifestation will change and the principle will remain the same, nor will they go to these books to bring out the essential things that Yahweh Elohim have me bring it out, which have been there all the time. But one thing that he did say, see, that we have a saying, that we have a vision scripture, I think is Proverbs 29:18, which says, without a prophetic vision, the people perish, but happy is he who keepeth the law. So therefore, what we are doing is that we are keeping the law and seeing what we're taking. By keeping the law, we are reading this prophetic vision that's allowing us to be able to see the things that we see today and understand. It's a pleasure always to be able to talk with you and to share these things. I ask you to research these things, look into them, take the time to go over the principles that I use to sit up and show you what was going on, see, within the Ante-Diluvian Age. And I'm pretty sure that you will find it quite interesting on how that when we use the principles that we use tonight, see, that had manifested, see, here in the post-Diluvian age, we see how applicable that they were over here as well, that when we went here, see, to the etology of it and brought it all the way through, that we went back here from the origin or the ontological state of perfection and then perpetuated all the way through the ages and the dispensations. So what we did was we came to the end, all the way to the end, right here, which is the fourth dispensation, and showed you what it manifested here. In the third, what manifested in the second and in the first, to pick up how within the ages to come, from the creative age, everything that had manifested within the angelic is going to manifest within the physical. So I hope that you were able to understand the things that I was saying. I hope you were able to understand the principles that I was using. I hope you were able to understand by the things that I said about the sticks, how it's related to go all the way back into the transgression of the Adamic transgression, which we understand that the origin of it manifested here in the angelic transgression. This is why you have angelic here and you have physical. So this is the perforated line to show you that what happened here in the angelic, which is here, see, manifested within the physical, which is here. And what we did was we took it here and showed it to you here and showed it to you here. And we're going to show it to you all the way down. We showed you with that same stick that the woman was picking up, which represented death, to where she was bearing her sins, was the same stick, see, that had manifested with the man here. Principle of what had happened with this tree. Stick, here's a branch. And then how that he had brought fruit. You understand what I'm saying? Because we see that his father was the devil, and that the fruit was the one that had brought the creation down. So therefore, his son, as he was immersed in spiritual wickedness, brought fruit back into Yahweh Elohim, which wasn't pleasing. And see, Yahweh Elohim had killed the lamb, see, and sacrificed the lamb and clothed them and allowed them to be able to come out. This is why his brother had offered up, see, a lamb unto Yahweh, and it was accepted unto Yahweh, see, and this was manifesting, see, right within the physical realm. But now we're showing forth that with the animal kingdom, with the vegetation kingdom, see, and in man, all the way through, that is nothing but a recapitulation from everything that happened, see, origin from the days of creation all the way through. All it did was repeat itself. We used all the things, see, that was within the creation, all the things that was in the physical creation, from the second day, the third day, the fourth day, the fifth day, all the way up until where the man was created. All of these principles are recapitulating themselves and remanifest themselves with unerring accuracy, and still saying the same thing over and over and over again. I don't care where you go in the scriptures, I'll be able to do this perpetually. I'll be able to show you witnesses and principles over and over on the vision, no matter where you go, no matter where you read. So, but as I said, we will be coming back. I will be going over these same principles that have manifested within the Ante-Diluvian Age. They will remanifest all over again. I will be going over them. And then what I will be doing to you is revealing the mystery that is manifesting within these two plates. I have already given you the main mystery, the reason why Enoch was taken. But yet and still, there are things that are going on in this plate that are manifesting within the time today that we must go over. Very important. And then I'm going to show you by these two plates how that the mystery of righteousness and the mystery of iniquity is taking its residence within the physical creation from the time of the transgression that happened with their forefather and foremother, Adam and Eve. I thank you very much for your time. And at this particular time, what I will be doing is that I will be ending this particular session, and I will be ending this class by picking up the doxology, which is in the 16th chapter of Romans, and the last 3 verses. And thank you for your time and for your attention. It was a pleasure. And it's always a pleasure and an honor to have anything to say about our Creator, Yahweh Elohim, as He really is and how He actually exists. know y'all be like, man, you should have had that ready and prepared. But I was going through scriptures and reading, so that's not fair. Okay, here we go. Romans 16th chapter, verses 25 through 27, and I will be reading the doxology out of the Golden Name Version Bible. Reads thusly. Now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Yahshua the Messiah, according to the revelation of the mystery which was kept secret since the world began, but now is made manifested, and by the scriptures of the prophets, according to the commandments of the everlasting Elohim, made known to all nations for the obedience of faith. To Yahweh only wise be glory through Yahshua Messiah forever. Hallelujah. And thank you again for your time. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be able to have anything to say about Yahweh Elohim, our Creator, and to be a representation of a member of the Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research. I honor the simple fact that I am a minister and a doctor, and that I have obtained my degree from the school, one of the schools of the highest learning. So therefore, I take this teaching very seriously. I try to give back everything that I got to be able to share the lamb, how we was instructed and how we was taught. That is the reason for these gatherings. That is the reason for these lectures, as well as to be able to reveal to you the divine vision and revelation that was given to me by Yahweh Elohim. And so that one can be able to hear the purpose of Yahweh Elohim from beginning to end and see it. It's not really too many ministers within our school system that has the capability to be able to go through the whole entire purpose from beginning to end. A lot of times we're limited to just 2 hours, and it's really hard to give you the whole entire purpose from beginning to end in 2 hours unless you know the purpose and the principles based behind the illustrations that we use. This is the reason why that I'm taking the time to use everything that we have, all the charts, our school books and materials and the visions and the charts to be able to go over these principles and things to give you a chance to see how the purpose was brought forth from the beginning to end, and give you the in-betweens. Because what we like to do is that we may start with Moses and jump to John, but there's a lot left out. See, that's in between. So what I'm trying to do is gather everything and lay everything out and give it to you from beginning to end. And then once we do that, with the explanations, with all the ologies, so that you can see how everything was taken on shape and form, what we can do is we're not going to just scratch the surface. We're going to get into the deep things. This is why what we were doing tonight, when we was picking up ologies, and then looking at the principles, as I said, that the primary principles that I used in the beginning, I'm going to show you over and over again, see how they perpetuate and come from the beginning all the way down to the end. That's what we're going to be doing. So I hope that you enjoy. Please come back, see us, and study with us again. Shalom.